Yes, you need to understand that stress is good, but when it is consistent, it becomes a problem. And so the consistency of you being stressed is what we want to address. Hi, my name is Mrs. 𝗟𝗲𝗦𝗃𝗧𝗏, and I welcome you into another episode of Life Unscripted. In Life Unscripted, I share with you how you can become a student for life beyond school system or academic session in order that you achieve optimum and sustainable success. We believe that life is unscripted. It only takes your discipline to pick up a pen and a paper to write or rewrite your script, because there are defining moments and there are redefining moments. And so, in that light, we are building confident global champions. And these emerging leaders are tapping into the realization of who they are in order that they are able to become who they are called to be in order to do exploit. And I hope you are going to be part of this particular community because we are global people. So, talking about global and being a student for life, what does it mean? Our concept of being a student has been stereotyped to people that are around the school system. But the true concept of a student is someone who is eager and dedicated to learn. Most people went to school, but they are not students. They don't have the attribute of studentship. And over time, that's why, even when you graduate and all of that, you now come out of the school and find out that you have not really learned the structure of life, which should be well represented in the curriculum in school, right? And so over time, that's why you juggle about everything until you learn these laws. It is going to be difficult for you to navigate life and you will always be negative. So, talking about the negative dimension of being stressed, I'm going to use this particular scenario because I sing. And as a matter of fact, I was able to work with a voice coach for over 2 years to be able to understand why people always, all the time, I show up very energetic. All the time, I show up very energetic. I didn't know where the energy is coming from till I pay attention to this, right? If it is your first time on my channel, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get a notification when the next content drops. If you're on Facebook, hit on follow. And if you're on Instagram, go ahead and hit on that Instagram follow button because it's one of the best decisions you're going to make in your life this year and beyond. And of course, I'm going to share with you how. I'm going to share with you why, not how. You already know how by just clicking it, but I'm going to share with you why, right? So, basically, anytime I go for rehearsal, I saw that there is a difference between practice and rehearsal. Practice is a personal responsibility. Rehearsal is the check of your practice. So when I understood that, I saw that, and when I now understood that education has to do with a personal responsibility, it's not about the school really. I now decided to engage more in practice and review what I have practiced in my rehearsal. Many people don't think like this. So most of the time you see musicians that are going to be very intelligent and exercise a lot of energy don't, because they always wait for rehearsals to actually practice. And so that's why anytime I show up in those rehearsals, it looks like I've known the song over time. No, it's because I was able to practice, I was able to do my homework. And so, in the season of practice, most especially when I worked with my voice coach, one of the things I realized that we are really, really stressed because of the consistency of our negative lifestyle, even without our consent. So even people see stress as something totally negative. No, it's not. Sometimes your body will tell you when to rest, but because you are not paying attention, it will struck you based on sickness. Sometimes people will just be taking malaria drugs, especially this part of the world, without even going through a test because they are stressed, not because they had malaria. And because they are not paying attention to their health, they are not paying attention to their body, it becomes a problem over time that the accumulation of those medicine that does not suit the body becomes a problem from the age of 40. All right. So now, today, understanding that stress is good, but when it's consistent, it's negative. How do you navigate? Now, first thing you need to do that I learned in music is that in every musical piece, there are dynamics, and that dynamic is there for the interpretation of the singer. So there are different articulation. If you're able to articulate a music, then you can be able to deliver it. For any kind of music or any piece of music that you see, there is what we call, there are notes there. Those notes is where you sing. There are actually rest symbols that shows you when to rest. Because when you are talking and you're just not making any sense, because you know music is organized, because this is what organization is. You know, the other day I was telling you about how you can have productive holiday through organization. So why music is organized is because music understand the standard of life, that anything that has to drive emotion needs a balance. And so because of that, there are notes. There are half notes so that it enables someone to breathe. There are some rest so that it enables you to catch your breath to actually continue and sustain till the end of the music. So the same thing happened, because if you consistently sing and sing and sing and sing without breathing, without anything, of course you are going to gas out. Before you know it, you are weak, you're under tension, you're under pressure, you're under anxiety. And so one of the practices I learned during my voice coaching program and practice is the power of breathing to stress. I saw that when I started engaging breathing exercises, it's crazy to calm the pressure that is already in all over place in the body. And you know, it took me so many years to understand that I don't even know how to breathe. And it was a confirmation in one of the communities that I am part of, when the doctors actually confirmed it, that most people really do not know how to breathe. Even for him, he actually got to know how to breathe from the age of 50. So I was not like, because I am in music. That's why sometimes when you see musicians, they look always young because of the practices that they engage. So I can actually relate. So all the time, what you want to do with stress is, first of all, already you should know by now that the true concept of stress is when you are under pressure. It's when you have drawn up tight or in a severe condition, or under tension, anxiety, pressure. All right. So you need a lot of calmness. And one of the things you need to learn how to do is to breathe effectively, not just to breathe. Everybody breathes, but not everyone truly knows how to breathe. So how do you breathe? You breathe through your nose and engaging your lower abdomen and your diaphragm, every muscles that are meant to be activated for you to actually ease the tension. It is, you are not suffering from malaria, you are just stressed and you need to be able to breathe. So if you pay attention to what music brings to the table, you will see that everything that has to do with perfect music that drives emotion and keep you in that powerful state to actually deliver is actually the ability of a singer to breathe and sing, rest to engage, in order that it will sustain that emotion till the end of the music. So anytime, that's why sometimes anytime you are stressed, when you play music, it has something to do with your brain waves, and it calms your nerves down because it drives a particular emotion and activates different hormones in your body. See, I want musicians to be able to understand that they are not going, that they have the power to be able to stimulate great hormones that encourages strength. That's why you see them, they are always with a lot of energy. Even when you go to your church, you see them, they're always making noise. Even after they finish making noise, they will still sing and sing appropriately. For people who are engaging the right technique and the right skill when it comes to music, you will see them, they are always on the high energy. Check anywhere, do your research, right? I'm speaking from a point of experience as well as improved knowledge. So, first thing you want to know is to learn how to breathe. We don't know how to breathe. Your problem is not malaria. Learn how to breathe. This is very, very important. Even at some point, I think one of my auntie, right, at a time, she was having a lot of issues here and there. She couldn't sleep. She couldn't do this because she was stressed. Remember, stress can be emotional, mental, physical, and as the case may be. So when she went to the hospital, it's quite surprising that the doctor asked her to actually go and learn how to breathe. My auntie, that she should go and learn how to breathe deeply. So a lot of us do shallow breathing. And it also keeps us at that particular tension because we breathe as though we are running a marathon. But we need to be able to calm down to actually breathe. The second thing to do when you are stressed is to rest. Rest. You must not always carry book to read. I know you engage in personal development, but keep quiet. Sometimes we even pray, sharabarabara. We speak in tongues, we do a lot of things and everything, but we don't find time to be able to enjoy the beauty of silence. Silence is a very great language that speaks when no one is speaking. And you begin to hear words, your brain begins to articulate what is around your environment. You begin to hear things. There are things you begin to hear in the season of silence. Keep quiet. And remember, as confident global champions, we don't stop when we are tired. We rest when we are tired, but we stop when we are done. And life is actually a journey. There is no ending anywhere. All right. That's why you talk about legacy for people who are very intentional about their life. All right. So, understanding this, know that your routine has to be affected with this particular lifestyle. So, you don't get to that particular extreme whereby you cannot work because you are too stressed. So when you are stressed, the positive side of stress is that you are stretched. Sometimes because you have been in a comfortable position, it demands that you begin to adapt into new habits by engaging stress. And it is very positive because you are doing something that you have never done before. So it's going to stretch you. So because of that, maintaining a very particular lifestyle is going to help you manage that stretch, even as you are stretching, which is very healthy. So what I'm sharing with you is for you to understand that for you to actually build your dreams, you need to be a student for life in understanding the basic laws of yourself, the life that you are living in order to navigate its productivity. So you can't build a dream when you are sick. You need to be healthy to build a dream. Hence, the reason we are sharing this with you. So don't just think that education is all about build your dream, build your dream. Mm-mm. It's always about self first because every other thing you do is an expression of the realization of who you are. So understanding that, I hope you're going to make good use of this. I'm going to share more of my experiences with time because I have different dimensions, right? I have different dimensions in all of these things. Yes, I see you, Dima, right? So you need to understand the power of breathing deeply, not shallow breathing, and the power of rest. Whenever you are singing, you engage deep breath to actually produce a sound. But in articulation of music, for it to have a balance and harmony to be able to drive that emotion, I'm using music as a case study, right? You need to be able to engage the value of rest. So sometimes for you to actually breathe, you need to rest so that you can engage the muscles that help you produce that sound. Hence, the reason you should pay attention to your health lifestyle if you truly want to live to enjoy the dreams you are building. So it's not bent on build this, do that. Sometimes keep quiet, go rest. Pay attention to silence. You will hear a lot of things in silence. Some people got powerful business ideas from meditation. They were not saying anything, they were just listening to themselves. Sometimes God is sending you the answers, but because you are not in that position to receive, you're not paying attention. So this is one of the things that you are going to learn today, and I hope you maximize it for the productivity and the intention of the empire you intend to build, and not just build, but also enjoy it. All right? Amazing. So don't forget that we are building confident global champions, and our intention is to help you build a strong self-esteem and strategic networks to actually build and multiply the result of what you are building by virtue of understanding self. And that is why one of the first things we do in CGC is to engage clarity session so that we start from a point of identification because we understand education the true purpose to be shape identity, not just to follow mere information or instruction over a course or a period of time. So you want to be able to understand it and you want to be part of us, type CGC in the comment section. If you want to have personal one-on-one conversation with me, hit the link, send me a message. You're on Instagram or Facebook, send me a message. If you're on YouTube, of course, hit the link in the description of my channel. Let's have that conversation. Take a lot of boldness to actually reach out because rich people reach people. So if you want to reach people, you have to understand that you are rich first. And that will give you the audacity to reach out because your confusion is in the hands of someone who has the clarity that you seek. So I can't wait to be able to hear your questions, your suggestions. What topics would you want me to talk about? All right, let me know, and then we'll be able to address this together. I still remain your friend and your go-to-get entrepreneur, founder of the Confident Global Champions, Mrs. Ch Kalenda Veshima. And until I come your way again in the next episode of Life Unscripted, don't forget it is time to live a life you are proud of and not the one people recommend. Till then, bye for now.